And we are live once again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to Sober Talk Live. Before we get underway, there's a lot of stuff kind of going on right now. Some stuff I wanted to talk about. But we're going to kind of wait till a few people start kind of showing up and kind of start, filing in, I guess you could say. It is going to be a wild and crazy ride for all of us here on Sober Talk. Okay, the Prince Magnum channel, is all about showing that you can enjoy life without a drink or a drug, and tonight will be no different. Okay. So, as we're kind of waiting for people to kind of come in, I'm going to chill out, kind of relax, and oh, there's our first person for the show. Welcome to live. Lots going on tonight. Definitely looking forward to the sober talk. Because things like to come my way every now and again, and it's one of them things. There we go. So already I see people dropping likes. Thank you so much. 3 people in here. Drop them likes. And as we get a few more people in, kind of hanging out, doing what we do. Hey, Queen Bee, Camp Survivor. Welcome to the live, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Tonight is going to be one of those nights where it's all about the positive vibes. We're definitely going to tackle that. What's going on, Charlie? It's good to see you. Charlie. No, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to come over and see you earlier. Earlier today, I seen something that just blew my mind. We'll talk about that here just shortly. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see all of you. Here in just a bit, we're also going to kind of as part of the stream. It's all going to tie in together. We're going to take a walk out to it's not what I did. It's what I got to witness. Queen, you really missed something exciting earlier. It was truly, truly awesome. Talking about that, Friday the 13th game. I know a lot of people who play that and really enjoy it. It's definitely an interesting game from what I've been able to see. Yeah, you missed it. It was over in Ian's live stream. It was truly amazing to see. I've never seen anything like it, and I probably won't anytime soon. Okay. If you're able to share the stream out, there's someone I'm sure out there in that world who could use some positive vibes. Tonight is Sober Talk, where we will talk about sobriety. And, it's so good to see you all. Definitely could use to talk about some positive vibes, because what's going on, Ian? It's good to see you. Now that Ian is in the live stream, I got to tell y'all what I seen earlier today. It was truly epic. I was in Ian's live stream, the usual banter between him and the guys. And of course, I was getting my licks in where I could. Of all the screwy things that could have happened, Ian's counter started going up. People that were in the live stream. And as the counter started going up, I'm like, this counter's not stopping. Now I'm like, this is real. because the counter just kept going up. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at it and it's at, in the 200s, and then it's in the 300s. At one point, it was well into the 400s in Ian's live stream. And all I could think of is started putting the shout out in the channel, drop them likes, drop them likes. And I don't know if it was a glitch, but I mean, it was highly unlikely. Yeah, the counter went nuts. The live stream counter for how many people were watching literally jumped up. At one point, I believe we were very close to seeing Ian hit 500 in that live stream. We were that close. And it dipped down and then it shot back up and stayed up there for a good moment. Boy, that is a tough one. If my story was going to be made into a movie, was it being wonky? Well, there's an excellent chance that it could happen here tonight. If it does, I'm going to freaking flip my lid. Okay. If anybody was going to do it, I'd have to say Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp would have to play my part. It would. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Thank you. If y'all not checked out Charlie Sees All, you guys are missing out. I've been over in his live streams and I've watched him do the WWE video game live streams. They're really, really neat how he does it. And I thought it was really fascinating how he did it. It was almost, it was so, what am I looking for? It was so creative that I've never seen anything like it. It was really neat to watch. But, so if you've all not checked out Charlie Sees All, you definitely should get over there and give him a look-see. Just great personality. But anyhow, as Ian and I were watching his counter just shoot up, I mean, there was a bunch of us watching. I'm like, dude, this is huge. Really? Wow. So maybe YouTube finally is completely broken. Really? Wow. It looked like there was a lot more going on than that. Really? Wow. Well, earlier, Queen, I was in your second live stream, like almost right. Oh, really? A lot of view bots, huh? Got to be an explanation for that. Got to be an explanation. So kind of a heads up, my channel could go completely berserk here in a little bit. Who knows? Who knows? It's YouTube. Anything's possible. The comment count. Oh, wow. Well, I will say that it was epic to see because I'm like, dude, you're either getting raided or this is all of a sudden just some people shared you out and it caught the eyes of a lot of people all at once. And it was epic to see. But it was Ian, I was glad I was there. Even if it was a glitch, I was glad I got to see it. Because I mean, if anybody, if there's anybody, well, all of you do, but let me say to all of you right now, Ian is one of those guys that if you don't know it, he's one of those true heroes out there. I don't know. Oh yeah, we had a lot of laughs in that stream. We had a lot of laughs. But today I'm actually going to I'm going to talk about some stuff that's been kind of going on here on the home front for me. Kind of talking about, some of the challenges of sober life and work and things like that and being on YouTube. And I'm just going to kind of generalize, my talk about sobriety. Because it's one of those things that I mean I could go to the book all the time, but at some point, am I living what's in that book? And so that's going to be some of what we talk about. What's going on, Mike G? What's going on, brother? So we're gonna have a lot of, we're gonna talk about a lot of different stuff. But before we get underway, hey, think different. Before we get underway, I gotta tell you all, we did the unboxing yesterday. We did the unboxing, the new dash cap that's in Project Spirit. Um, and we put it on in the live stream yesterday after the unboxing. We put it on. Third Gen 83 gave us some tips on how to install that, and he was dead on right. Except one thing, he wasn't 100%. He didn't know this. He's like, it's like you're not going to have to do anything other than just kind of push it down, make sure it's molded. Leave it a couple of weeks in the sun, and it'll conform to the dash pad properly. I'm like, all right. But there was one thing he didn't take into consideration was the fact that I live in Missouri. It gets hot, it gets humid. So all I had to do, oh, the voice thing. Yeah, I've heard some people complaining about that. But anyhow, all that being said, um, because it's hot and humid in Missouri, all I had to do was leave the windows up on Project Spirit, go out there, and on my lunch break at work today, and it's reached up and kind of moved everything where it's already form fit after one day. I did not have to do a dang thing, just because of how hot and humid it gets here in Missouri. And we've talked about that, what the temperature can get like around these parts. It gets ridiculously hot. So that was one thing that, again, you'll hear me, joke and say that, different parts of the United States, you can get away with certain things in custom cars where in other parts you can't. Forget it, hang it up. It's not happening. For example, out here where I live, I think I'm only like 600 feet above sea level. So an inline six will do just fine. If you get up there where Third Gen 83 lives, he lives pretty much in the Rockies. Inline sixes don't do so hot up there. So that's just one of those things. All righty. I am doing fantabulous. I woke up this morning and I had a miracle happen to me today. I found it not necessary to take a drink. And any day that happens is still truly a miracle. All right, so let's get underway. Let's go out real quick. And this is all going to tie into what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, it's all going to tie in. I kind of have an idea where I want to go with this. So let's go out. Let's take a look at that dash cap, so you guys can see how much nicer it looks now that it's form fit to the actual dash. Yeah, I'm in the kitchen cleaning, kind of getting things ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's live stream. It is going to be a cooking live. The plan at this point is to do something with. Oh, calm yourself, Ian. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay. Let's go over here. We're going to take a quick gander at Project Spirit. You'll see how the new dash cap looks in there. And it does look absolutely amazing. There's only one spot that I'm not 100% happy with, but I imagine with a little bit of work, it'll be just fine. So, 100% happy with it. It was right up here. Yeah, right there. That little spot I'm not 100% happy with, but it's 1,000 times better than it was. So that piece is now form fit. And that part came courtesy of our dear friend, Third Gen 83. What's going on, Daniel? Welcome to the live stream. Just talking about the unboxing yesterday. What's going on, Tego? Filming. Welcome to live. You're inside the office. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. All righty. Come say hello. Yeah. You're awesome, man. All righty. Let's grab a seat and let's talk about why that is important. Okay. Anytime y'all ask me how I'm doing, I like to say that I had a miracle happen to me today. I woke up to, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Let's talk for a brief moment. Thank you, Tega. Appreciate that. let's talk for a moment that, you know, there was a time that I was a falling down drunk. Okay. And I know a lot of people it's like, I can't see it. I can't, but it is true. What's going on, third gen 83? Oh, you got to get ready to go hit the hay, Tego. I understand. I understand. Believe me, I get it. Um, Today was day 11 at work. They shortened my hours down throughout the day. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tego. Appreciate that. I will do my very best. But anyhow, let me tell you all, thank you. Third Gen 83, what's up? I was just telling everybody, before we really dove hard into this, uh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Um, you were sort of right on that dash pad. Um, you were sort of right on that dash cap. There was one part that we did not take into consideration: the heat and humidity here in Missouri. All I had to do was wait till the noon sun. Well, the sun started getting close to that noon rise, and the humidity was not super high, but it was high enough. The dash cap is form fitted in there. We didn't have to wait the 2 weeks. Didn't have to use anything special. It got hot enough. All I had to do was go in there and kind of push it into place. That was it. It got that hot. So that was all I had to do today. It's already form fit. That thing is not moving. It is stuck there from now until the end of time. Okay. That is the way it is. A tornado is not even going to move that dash cap. It looks great. Princess Faye also wanted me to tell you thank you. It looks great in that car. Um, Now, let's talk briefly. Again, I had to earn my seat in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. How did I earn that seat? I had to become a falling down drunk. Okay, I had to drink my way in rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's the honest to goodness truth. When I picked up that first drink and I was off to the races, as we say in AA, that was kind of how it all began for this guy. Um, Now, uh, let me say right now that when I got into the the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I got sober, I started trying to do the right thing. Fast forward, here we are now, and I'm still doing this thing that we know as sobriety. Now, in the last, when I started, when I really actually had all the pieces to the puzzle for a YouTube channel, Project Lena, the surviving romance stuff, and then of course later on Project Vera, which went away, and then of course we got Project Lena now that Ian just absolutely loves. He's the leader of her fan club, Project Lena's fan club, um, you know, and that sort of stuff. We're talking. This is you fast forward to today, and here I'm still doing the sober thing, and the Prince Magnum channel is doing fairly well. Um, Last month we did not do that bad. We came up short. What's going on, honey? You're from my neighborhood? That is what is up. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Hi, honey. For those who do not know, the lovely Faye Rue that is in the chat right now is my beautiful, lovely wife. Couldn't imagine the world without her. But let me say, um, here we are. We're talking about sobriety. I am doing fantabulous. I woke up this morning and I had a miracle happen to me today. I I found it not necessary to take a drink, and any day that still happens is truly a miracle. For those who do not know, when I say I'm a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous, no drugs, no alcohol, 100%, basically no additives, no preservatives needed for this guy right here. I live my life. The worst that I do is take the occasional over-the-counter medication, and I smoke. That's it. I smoke cigarettes. That is the worst I do. If that's all that, that's really not that bad. Oh, and I drink too much coffee. I guess that's not exactly good for you. But I drink coffee like it's going out of style. So that's really about the extent of my excitement. Really is. Okay. So now that I've said that, now that I've kind of gotten that out in the open and everything, again, when I got to Alcoholics Anonymous, I was that fallen down drunk. And we've heard, I've told some of those stories. I've told some of those stories. And if you ever find yourself in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous and you string together enough time and you ever get asked to be a speaker, sober man always told me that don't spend a whole lot of time talking about. That is interesting. Don't spend a whole lot of time talking about. That is right, Mike G. Coffee is better than booze. Um, I mean, I totally just lost my train of thought. Gosh dang it. Which window? Yeah, I love it, man. Love it. Let's say there's several ones. Well, sure as hell in the office window. Oh, you're from the Netherlands? Oh, welcome to the live stream. I was going to say, hey. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. The Netherlands. We have our first person from the Netherlands. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. It's our perfectly fine. I was going to say, really? Someone from my neck of the woods? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here with me. I am actually from a little bitty town in the smack dab in the middle of Missouri. Most people can't even find it on a map. The Prince Magnum channel is literally, if you will, a grassroots movement. The main purpose of our channel today. Thank you, Queen. Appreciate that. The purpose of the focus of the Prince Magnum channel anymore today is showing people how to enjoy. I've got my mixed feelings, but this is sober talk. I don't talk politics in sober talk. This is a different ball game. We talk about sobriety in sober talk. Catch me another time on a different stream. I really don't talk politics because there's good and bad in politics, and I mean you can get wrapped up in that real easy. Honestly, I mean he's done some good, he's done some bad, but that's normal. Okay, he's doing more bad than he is good, but initially he was doing a lot of good in this country. We'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. So again, my sober date when I got sober was none other than February 7th, 2006. And I'm going to say again, I started to say this. If you ever are in a, if you ever have the opportunity, say you do wind up in Alcoholics Anonymous and you're just trying to get sober and trying to do the right thing and things like that. The first thing that I'm going to say is if you're that speaker in an AA meeting, is you don't spend a whole lot of time on your drunk story anyways, because pretty much it's almost always the same. The details just change. I drank, I did stupid stuff. I felt guilty about it afterwards. And in order to get over the guilt, I drank some more, and then I did some more stupid shit. So it kind of turns out, no, I'm good with all that. I'm good with all that. I don't do stuff like that. I don't touch no drugs whatsoever. I'm good. Thank you. You go right on ahead. I'm perfectly fine without that stuff. Typically, I find that you can actually slam your head against the wall about a dozen times and get the same effect. And it's less hazardous to the health. But anyhow. I'm good. And you can offer all day, which I suggest you not. I suggest you not because I'm not interested. Um, and if you continue, my moderators will get very upset. They don't like people. They don't like people trying to offer me things that I shouldn't have or that I don't want. But anyhow, um, along with all of that, so that's why I don't spend a whole lot of time on my drunk story. I like to spend talking about the recovery process. Thank you. The recovery process is more important. How did I get sober? How did I get to the point where I'm at? And the truth of it is how I got sober was none other than by, working the steps in AA. Now you fast forward to today, we've got all the pieces to the puzzle for, the Prince Magnum channel, and that's really awesome. The Prince Magnum channel is doing exceptionally well these days. Yeah, we keep getting a few setbacks here and there. We don't always make our watch time minutes so we can get the monetization. No, thank you, Mike G. I appreciate that. Thank you. So now that we've kind of touched base on that whole thing that you know that sobriety is what has brought me to this point. Um, a lot of you now are sending stuff for Project Spirit, and I mean, I've had uh, my partner Jam and John. He sent stuff for Project Spirit, and some of that stuff ended up in Project Lena too. Along with that, I've got some floor mats over there that he sent me that'll look great in there. When we do car shows, I just don't feel right putting them in there and then putting my my grubby boots all over them and messing them up. I know they're black, but come on, I just don't feel right about that. And then on top of that, third gen 83, he sent me this awesome steering wheel, and I know that steering wheel is not cheap. That was a very expensive steering wheel. And then he sends me a new dash cap, which I know that wasn't cheap. And some of y'all are sending me some awesome stuff, and this is one of the payoffs for sobriety. This is one of the actual payoffs, okay? That you guys are sending me stuff and holy crap, Batman. Ian, you're awesome, man. So you guys, this is the payoff, okay? The Prince Magnum channel is over 1,000 strong. And, you guys are trying now helping me with the projects. And this is the payoff. And it's all through the process of working those steps that AA offer. Now, along with that, I've been involved in AA service work. I've been to those big giant meetings and some of the conventions. I've done these cool things, and you know, and I mean, I could tell you guys about it all day long, but unless you were actually in one of these and get that full impact of it, you may not know what I'm talking about. So that being said, we're talking that I've been in room, in a room where there was like, 270 something people, and I might talk for a couple of minutes, and then people, a few years later, I was there that day when you said this, and it's like, wow, I barely even remember what I said that day. And this is again the payoffs. So basically, we went from a falling down drunk, scared of his own shadow, and didn't know how he was going to carry on with life. Fast forward almost 14 and a half years later, and people around the world come in and they show that love and the support, wanting me to continue to stay sober and to reach out to they want me to reach out and help other people. Talk about going from zero to hero, and that's all through the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I know sometimes, people that don't have problems with alcohol that kind of struggle in their life, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's drugs, which, I know how Narcotics Anonymous treats all of that, and them guys are awesome. I've sat in a few Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and they were fun. Good people in there, really good people, just trying to get that thing. I got nothing but kudos for those people. I consider them the the sister program to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I wish AA and NA did more work together. I really wish we would. I wish we would do a little bit more work together because, well, thank you. Thank you, Mike G. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, uh, the main thing that I want to, in this live stream, the main thing that I want to push is that just, no matter what's going on in your life, there is hope. There is hope. You know, remember, I went from a falling down drunk, family hated him, and what family did talk to me, didn't know what to do with me. All of my friends gave up hope on me. And here we are today, over 1,000 strong, just trying to carry the message of hope that there is a way out from that world of drugs and alcohol. There is a way out. So now that I've said that, and just take that in for a moment, that is the main message of the Prince Magnum channel. You can enjoy life without a drink or a drug. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have that stuff to enjoy life. And I meet people every day that can't live without smoking marijuana or can't go without, being a fallen down drunk. Tell you all something I found out today. The other maintenance man, not the one that just quit, but the other one that I worked with him like almost 3 years, and I knew he had I knew he had a problem with drugs and alcohol. I knew it was bad. He had just gotten out of prison over a bunch of DWIs. Just got out of prison about a year ago. It's always good sometimes it is important to share those problems openly, share those problems. But the guy I was working with, I just found out today. Um, he threw his job away over basically drugs and alcohol. He couldn't stop drinking, kept causing nothing but problems at work, and it got out of hand. And they're like, "Look, dude, we can't use you anymore. You out." GTFO. And that was the end of it. So now that he's gone, I'm doing, I'm handling the maintenance thing for a while, and then they give me a new maintenance guy. Then the whole pandemic breaks out and that sort of thing. And then, now that maintenance man has quit and he's moved on. And, but the first one, he, uh, he literally, he literally threw his whole life down the tubes, just threw him down the tubes. He no longer has a home. All the stuff that he acquired, all his belongings, are gone and has last been seen living under a bridge. All because he wasn't ready to put down the drugs and alcohol. He wasn't ready. And it was mostly alcohol. He threw his whole life away over the booze. No money, no family will deal with him. He's living under a bridge. Towards the end of the live stream, I'll have to do the joke, the actual joke, and it literally comes from my drinking days. I'll have to actually tell because um, I'll explain it later. Okay, I'll explain it later. But it's one of those things that once I actually do the full on joke, you won't be able to stop laughing. I promise you. Princess Faye will beat the brakes off of me for telling this joke, but it'll be worth it. Trust me. I'm so getting in trouble for this joke. Remind me, Ian, towards the end of the stream. Um, remind me uh, a little after we get over the 1 hour marker. remind me, and I'm gonna tell that joke because it definitely deserves to be told for the first time in its entirety in a live stream. I promise you, you're gonna love it. Hang on to your hats, kids, because it's a messed up joke. But anyhow, so again, um, my my whole thing is, reminding people that you can get through life without a drink or a drug. And here we are. We're talking about a guy that I worked with, living under a bridge. He had, he drank his kid. Who called you? Ain't nobody calling you a kid. um, where was I? Gosh dang! Come on, brain cell. I don't think I did. Anyhow, damn stroke. Anyhow, here we go. Here we are. We're talking about. Now, I was telling you to remind me to, after the 1 hour marker, remind me, and I'll tell you that joke. Okay, calm yourself. Anyhow, um, so here we are. Now we are. All these amazing things. Hey, we've got those too. A lot of people out there suffer those things that they've went through in life. I was at my very first AA convention. There was this guy. His name was Danny. And what's going on, Analysis Mayor? Welcome to the live stream. It's another night of sober talk. And we've already been talking about the amazing things that have been kind of dropped into my lap in a good way. We're talking, that, um, you know, we have people now sending stuff, for me to use on Project Spirit. And we have people helping now, um, you know, shout the channel out and try to bring people in and all these things like this. This is awesome. This just goes to show that there is. Yes, you are. You're allowed to send me stuff. Yes, indeedy. Um, so now that that's being said, we're talking, here on the channel, there are, so many, you know, I went from that fallen down drunk to who I am today through the process of what AA has given me. Um, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed that I have this opportunity, that I've been given that second chance in life. And here I'm just been talking about Fiji. I don't know. I don't mind traveling. I don't mind traveling. Um, you know, and now today, the guy I was working with living under a bridge because he couldn't. All right, we'll clear out the office for you. We'll clear out the office and get you, turn it back into a spare bedroom. We'll do that for you, Ian. I'd be all right. We'll be glad to. We'll be glad to. What would Pinky say though? Would she be okay with that? She'd have to mail herself too, wouldn't she? But anyhow. Oh my gosh. But again, this is just a prime example of, you know, the joking and the fun that we have in here. This is part of that whole thing that I'm talking about, where I've been given that second chance to do the things that I'm talking about today, and I have a, oh no, Ian. Oh no, Ian. Your woman's going to beat the brakes off of you for saying that. unless you aggravate her so much, she puts you in the box and seals you up for, be like Garfield sending Nermal, trying to send Nermal off to Abu Dhabi, but in your case, it's Pinky shoving you in a box and mailing you off to Missouri. Well, that's just about as bad. It's a rough neighborhood around here. But anyhow, um, you know, and again, the banter that we have in here, and that when I go into you guys' channels, you guys always make me feel so welcome, and I can't thank you all enough. And again, this is the second chance that AA has given me, and again, I'm gonna say it. The, you know, um, you know, again, I'm gonna say it. You know, my former coworker is now living under a bridge because of alcohol and drugs, you know, because he wouldn't put the booze down. Truly sad. Truly sad. And that's one, if you will, that's basically, you know, I could have been that guy. I could have been there. That could be me if I was to continue the way that I was going. That could have been me. Actually, Ian would have to be taken in as that strange brother, that strange brother that it's like he's just kind of different. No, Ian, I love you, man. You're like a brother to me. You're like a brother, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's so many of you that have given so much, even if it's not in the physical sense. A lot of you have given me more than that. Third Gen 83. Um, when I met him, we didn't exactly see eye to eye on some things, but yes, that's true. That's very true. When I slammed into that wall, I almost took my own life. But that we talked about that a couple, what, 2, 3 weeks ago. We talked about that, and we might revisit that story again sometime. But my, our dear friend Third Gen 83. Um, when him and I, kind of met here on YouTube, we did not see eye to eye on a few things. And basically, I'm like, here's my email address. Let's talk. And when he sent me an email, I immediately sent him my phone number. I said, let's talk. It took a couple days and he gave me a call and we talked. Now he's one of the best friends I could ever ask for. And, you know, just by things that AA has taught me, by maybe you could put aside your differences and extend that olive branch. And this is just something that it's taught me, you know, that sometimes, and even if we had not been able to get along after that, I at least wanted to make peace, on a personal level, so maybe even though we don't have to see eye to eye, I at least wanted to make that peace, where we could at least be civil to each other. And we ended up becoming the best of friends. And there is a day when I hope I get to go meet him, hang out with him, and get to meet his family, and of course he gets to meet my family and things like that. That is a genuine hope, and get video footage of both his Maverick and mine side by side, stuff like that. That is, and I think that's an obtainable goal in my lifetime. The plan is hopefully one of these days we can have a big Prince Magnum channel cookout, where as many of you that could be there as possible, we just go meet in one location and everyone come in and we just have a ball. We cook and we laugh and tell jokes all day long, and just all of us together. That is another hope. That is obtainable too. That is obtainable, and I'm even talking about those of you across the pond, coming over here, hanging out, and all of us, just having fun and joking and just being ourselves, that is a hope of mine, where we can all get together and hang out and, you know, and swap stories and things like that. That would be so awesome. I would live stream that all day long. I mean, it would be amazing. It would be so amazing. That is a dream of mine now, and it is an obtainable goal. It is an obtainable goal. Um, these are things that um, that I look forward to. Um, and why? Why is that? Because AA has again given me that opportunity to have a second chance at life. You know, that is awesome. That I've been given that second chance. August the 7th, I'm going to be turning 41, but more importantly, what's going on, Mr. Raven Nuts? Guys, if you've not checked out Mr. Raven Nuts, let me say to you all, you're missing out. You're missing out. That's another really cool guy from the United Kingdom who served in Her Majesty's Royal Military, more in particular, the Army, whereas Ian, Mr. Gamer and BRFC, he served in Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps. So we actually have a couple of special veterans from across the pond joining in our live stream. If you guys have not checked out either one of these great heroes from across the pond, you are missing out. These guys are truly amazing. They are heroes in my eyes, 100%. Both of those gentlemen are true heroes in my book. And the only thing that separates them from veterans within the United States is just that they're in a different country. These guys are true heroes. So be sure to get over there and show some love to both of their channels. Both of them deserve as much love as they possibly can get. They deserve all the love in the world from everyone because, again, those guys are true heroes in my eyes. And, and it is a blessing once again to have both of these kind, wonderful gentlemen in the Prince Magnum channel live stream for Sober Talk. Again, a true blessing to me because these guys also help me stay sober. Thank you both for being here. And I want to give a special shout out to you guys because I do again know that both of you are veterans for Her Majesty's Royal Military. Thank you. Thank you, Ian, for being here with me. You guys are awesome. You're part of the blessings that I have been given. I was literally telling some of my coworkers, I said, you guys don't, what's really cool? I actually have veterans now from the United Kingdom, joining in my live stream. How freaking cool is that? And immediately everyone says, that is truly awesome, Prince Magnum. That is truly awesome. And we're so proud of the hard work that you put into this. You have put a lot of work into your YouTube channel, and to have wonderful people like that from another country coming in and hanging out with you, that is amazing. That is amazing. And, again, oh, you don't have to thank me, Raven. You don't have to thank me, Mr. Raven. The big thank you is for you being here, helping me stay sober another 24 hours. You guys are amazing, 100% through and through. I can't thank you guys enough for being here with me. It is an honor, and I do consider myself, again, the most blessed content creator in the world because I have such a cross-section of the wonderful people in this world coming into the Prince Magnum channel. We even have Camp Survivor lurking in the background, another true friend to the Prince Magnum channel. Every time he's in here, he just brings such an amazing vibe, just a wonderful personality. I don't get over there. Hey, it's all about building the community, about reaching out and getting to know people and sharing what. There you go. That's what's up. And sharing that awesome, that awesome strength, that those positive vibes. There's a whole world right outside my door. that's willing to tell me what I'm doing wrong. When I turn on to Sober Talk Live and tell you guys today that it is a blessing to be sober yet another day, another 24 hours. Let me say to all of you, you know, that is a blessing. I am just so glad that I have so many of you here joining me and saying, save the world. Now I'm curious about it. And we got Mike G in here. I was in it, every now and again. I don't know if he knows. I sneak into his live stream and I watch. And another true icon here on YouTube that doesn't get enough credit. Absolutely dear friend to, just wonderful. The Prince Magnum channel has a great cross section, from the United Kingdom, and I am truly honored to have so many of you from the UK here with us and sharing that love and support from all the way across the Atlantic pond, if you will. And also here in the live stream, we also have another dear friend, Miss Queen B. For those that do not know, Miss Queen B and her husband, TFZ Gaming, true, wonderful friends to the Prince Magnum channel. That's right. You ever have a like all of a sudden pop up, but you don't know who it is? Guess who? Dropping that ninja like from my dear friend Mike G. Oftentimes have you playing in the background while I'm working, or while I'm just trying to chill out. These days I've been putting in a lot of time at work, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But now that there's so many of you, Queen B, TFC Gaming, dear friends to the Prince Magnum channel, absolute blessings. Oh, we're getting to think different. Hang on a second. Don't worry. We're going to get to my boy there. Oh, yeah. Again, Queen B, TFC Gaming, dear friends to the Prince Magnum channel. And I hope to go see them one day and hang out with them. I know truly that I would just be blown away by how wonderful they truly are in person. Hands down, bar none. I am again blessed with even wonderful people here inside the United States that have been kind enough. Yes, Queen Bee has her own YouTube channel, and she wasn't using it, but she restarted it. And Ian and I were in there earlier today causing havoc. We were truly causing havoc. And it was fun. I got to start using a joke that I used before I got sober, and it's kind of carried on. Give me a moment, but there's a special person I want to give a special shout out to. Let me take a moment. Yes, it was. It was amazing, Queen. Let me tell you all about a dear friend who's in chat right now. He's lurking in the background. I know he's probably working on his truck or something like that. That is our dear friend, Think Different. I won't give too much of his story, but he too has his struggles. He comes into the Prince Magnum channel. I know he's there, and I know that he's giving me that quiet support. He doesn't have to say much, but when he does say something, it truly means a lot. If you will, a man of few words, and that is our dear friend Think Different. A man of few words, but those words make an impact. And let me tell you all that he actually lives in my neck of the woods. He actually lives in the town that I work in, a hop, skip, and a jump away from the McDonald's that I work at. And every time that he is here, he truly just brings that positive vibe. And I know that that he has his struggles, but despite those struggles, he still remains positive. And let me tell you all that in those struggles, the fact that he remains so positive and he brings that positive vibe to the Prince Magnum channel, despite those struggles, because I know his struggles. I know his struggles. I know him very much so. Let me say right now that he truly is an inspiration to me to keep doing what I'm doing, especially on Sober Talk. He is an inspiration to me. And, you know, in a way, because of his struggles and how deep those struggles go, in a lot of ways, I look up to him. And I know some of you might, I know he's probably scratching his head. How is that? Because you're still fresh in those struggles. And I remember what that's like. And I remember how hard it was. And trying to deal with this pandemic on top of it and everything that's going on. Thank you, Queen. Now we can find you easier, even though you're right there. You're right there. I can see you in my chat. You're right there. Anyhow, so that is our Think Different. Our guy Think Different. Um, he is an inspiration to all of us to remain positive no matter what. And in a lot of ways, I look up to him. I look up to him. He is a true friend to the Prince Magnum channel and a true inspiration. And I'm very grateful for him. And again, I started talking about Third Gen 83. We talked about the stuff that he sent. Oh my gosh. And our dear friend, Third Gen 83, I'm very grateful for our friendship. Because a lot of times he'll say things to me that truly, um, that truly just, he's oftentimes an inspiration to me, because he'll say things, he'll talk about a friend of his that's, struggling and all these things like that. And, and it's like, when I listen to those struggles and then, I share my experience, he gives me strength. Third Gen 83 is a dear friend to the Prince Magnum channel, not just because of the stuff he sent, just because of his friendship in general, you know. I bet that was something. It's like, I know that guy. I know that guy. Holy cow. Yep. Little did you know. And, that's, again, Third Gen 83, oftentimes, when he tells me about a friend of his, um, it drives me to continue to move forward because I know I can end up like that friend of his, you know, and I not just because of the stuff he'll send me and the support that he's given on Project Spirit. Third Gen 83 is a true friend, and I'm very grateful that anytime I need someone to talk to, just kind of blow off steam, or whatever, I can give him a call. I can give him a call, and we could talk about whatever's going on. And I always feel really good after talking to him. And again, that's another blessing that I've been given here on the Prince Magnum channel. And the Prince Magnum channel is only possible because of Alcoholics Anonymous. Again, we're right back to, the blessings that have been given. Charlie sees all, another dear friend. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's so many of you that have inspired me to keep going forward, you know, and I can't thank you all enough. Today, I mean, I got home from work. I was all beat up and I was tired. I just didn't have much go. But, I got into Queen's live stream, Queen Bee's live stream. And on her second one, Princess Faye's getting ready to go to work. I'm bummed out because I'm not going to get to see my wife all that much. I'm just so exhausted. A lot of times I'm either asleep or I'm at work or, I'm live streaming. And I love my wife more than you guys can imagine. Um, so I'm bummed out and but I can't stop. I know I've got some obligations to all of you in the Maverick Nation. So I needed to keep working and I just couldn't sleep because I wanted to work on the next piece of the project, of whatever I was working on. And, I happened to bounce into Queen Bee's second live stream and I ended up getting to tell a joke. And Seeing it in the chat is one thing, but to hear it live is something totally different. So I'm going to take y'all back in time. It has always been, I guess you could say, my defense mechanism that when I get really angry or upset or I don't know how to deal with something, I'll tell a joke to try to get over what's upsetting me. I'll tell a joke. The joke might be silly, might even be stupid, but sometimes I'd love to, I'll be open and honest. We can all throw our minds into the gutter and we could leave it there, leave our minds in the gutter. And no matter what anybody says, you could just keep piling it on and making it funnier. And I know Princess Faye, says that that dirty jokes are lowbrow humor, and that I'm above that. But doggone it, it's good to tell a dirty joke every once in a while. So we're gonna go back. That's right. Silly and stupid can always change a mood. But we're gonna go back to my days in the medical field. Back then, I occasionally had people that would, say things that kind of upset me, or this isn't necessarily their fault. I had this whole thing in my head where, I might be say I'm down on a hall, giving out medication, and I'm coming up the hall, and as I'm coming up the hall, maybe I look down the hall and I see some of my coworkers standing there just talking, and maybe they start laughing, and one of them just might look in my general direction. Somehow in my screwed up head, they're talking about me. They're talking bad about me. They just made a joke about me. Well, screw them guys. That's what's going on in my head. And 9 times out of 10, I am not that important. So to get over this, I started making up jokes. And one of the jokes is I would, maybe I'd be, somebody would say something, and immediately the next thing I would say, what reminds me of this one time I was touching myself. And that's how it all started. So that was how the jokes got started. Well, then someone one day said, I'm sick and tired of hearing you pop off saying, talking about the one time you were touching yourself. I'm sick of hearing that. I said, oh, you are? Well, this reminds me of this one time I was choking my chicken, pulling my pork, beating my bacon, gagging the gecko, throttling my turkey, spanking the monkey, beating my bacon. Do you get the idea? And I mean, they're like, screw it, I'm done. They just walked off. That was that joke. So, in a way, I was kind of telling that joke in the chat. And that's the joke. So, it reminds me of this one time I was choking my chicken, pulling my pork, beating my bacon, beating my meat, spanking the monkey, flogging the dolphin, throttling my turkey, gagging my gecko. Anyhow, I'll let y'all take that in for just a moment. Burping the worm. Anyhow. There was. Poor Ian. He's like, what the hell? And then he's like, I can't believe you, man. I'm waiting to see Queen Bee's response. That's pretty good, huh, Mike G? Oh my God. Poor Queen. No, not even dealing with me. Oh my gosh. Which there was one day I was drunk and I was in this gas station next to a dear, an old friend of mine. And I was flirting with the gal on the other side. I was flirting with the cashier. I'm not talking to you. I was very drunk. I was very drunk. No one realized how drunk I really was. But I was flirting with the cashier in this gas station. And as I was flirting with her, she's sitting there giggling and laughing. I mean, I'm laying it on heavy. And this is long before Princess Faye. This is before I got sober. And, as I'm, sitting there telling these jokes, well, basically flirting with her and joking with her and I mean, everything. And I mean, uh, you know, like you're really bold. And my buddy's like, oh God, that's not bold. That is totally not bold. And he's like, he's about to say something. I know he's going to say something that's going to blow all of our minds. I looked right at her and I kid you not, I looked right at her and said, if you were on my couch naked, I would so jack off to that. I was very drunk and said that. I don't know if I should be proud of that or not. Probably not. I can't even believe, yeah. I was very drunk. I felt very bad after that. I didn't go back to that gas station for a couple weeks. The difference was a shit. Like, oh my God, you did. Yes, I did. Totally looked right at her, straight face, said, if you were lying on my couch naked, I would so jack off to that. And all she could, I've never had anybody say that before. I, wow. And I mean, she turned beet red. My buddy's like, you, man, I swear to God, if you've been drinking, I haven't been drinking. Anyhow, yeah. So yeah, that was a different time, a different place. I'm waiting to see what Mike G says on that one. He's probably laughing too. A lot of you went quiet, so I know y'all are laughing so hard you can't even type. I honestly don't remember. I really don't remember what she looked like, to be honest with you. That was way back in my 20s. I think I was about 24. I was about 24 when um, when I did that. Yeah, I was 24. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was so embarrassed by what I had said to her, I couldn't go back there for a little while. I was so embarrassed. It was just one of them things. Um, See, another joke, another joke that I used back then is said, a lot of guys go after the blonde hair, not even not, oh man, I used to joke about about how every guy always chased after the blonde hair, blue eyed gals. I said I always like red hair and green eyes. This was what I used to say. You got to remember, Queen, it was a different time. It was a different time. And that was a long time ago. Gosh, that's been almost 20 years ago. My God, has it been that long? Yeah, it's been that long. Dang, it's been that long. My goodness. And, that tells you how much I've changed. Occasionally I'll revisit some of those old jokes, but most of the time, I like the stuff I'm doing today. Um, the jokes that I do today, I mean, yeah, I'll take it right over the edge sometimes, but a lot of times it's really not that, it's all in good humor. So jokes back then were just straight up, that whole thing where, I had my theme. I had my theme. Um, I used to make jokes about, uh, let's see, the mother of my first two children. I always used to tease and say I was drunk. She took advantage of me. That's how I ended up. That's how we got her. I was drunk. She took advantage of me. And the first thing everybody automatically says, bullshit. We know better than that. So that again, here's what we're going to talk about. How the jokes have changed a lot over the years. I mean, some of them are still kind of funny, but some of them, I mean, but it's one of those things. They're not as funny as they used to be to me because I tell different stuff right now. Um, you know, like Princess Faye coming into the living room, and this is a true story now. Princess Faye coming into the living room. I'm getting ready to watch a movie, and she says, "Wait a minute, you're the one that does all this amazing cooking. What the hell are you doing in here? Get your ass in the kitchen, bitch. My own wife said this to me." And, that's just one of those things. That's one of those things. That is funny to me. Um, you know, uh, there was another day. Um, you know, Princess Faye and I had to take both cars out. So both Project Spirit, Project Lena go into a place, and I pull up. We get to where we're going. I forget where we had to go that day, but when we get to the parking lot, she, you know, we roll down our windows, and I look over at her and say, "Hey, you got a custom car. I've got a custom car. Let's race. If I win, you got to sleep with me. If you win, I got to sleep with you." Said this to my own wife, you know, and we both started laughing, and it was a lot of fun, just joking. We still joke like that with each other. And again, this is one of those blessings that AA has been able to give me, is that I can do stuff like that. And I have a wife. I got married in sobriety. I'd never been married. Was engaged 5 times before Princess Faye. 2 of those times with the same gal. So you figured I'd have learned the first time. Well, that's not really fair. I kind of drank that engagement away twice. You know, um, so if that's any indication, you know, I get to enjoy um, married life in sobriety. And Princess Faye, my own wife, has never seen me drunk. Never seen me drunk, ever. I have 3 children that have never seen their daddy drunk, ever. Never seen it. Don't know what it looks like. Couldn't tell you. Um, that is amazing. That, that I have, children that don't know what I look like drunk. I have had 3 children born in sobriety. Um, that should tell you what sobriety has done for me. It's truly awesome. You know, um, and then on top of that, I can walk into an AA meeting, not know a single soul in there. I can go into an AA meeting, not know a single soul, and with that being said, even though I don't know a single soul in there, I feel like at least I'm acquainted with everyone in there. That is absolutely amazing. I can go anywhere to an AA meeting and all of a sudden have a lot of friends. Um, First time I went to this AA clubhouse up in Washington, Missouri, a place called the Gold Cup. I walk in, and there's this old timer with over 40 years. I watched this man get something like 42 years, been at it for years. Been sober a long time, and go into this meeting. And he, the first time meeting this guy, walk in, smile on my face, big book in my hand. And he said, "Don't believe I've seen you around before. You new to the area?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, and I walked up to shake his hand. He said, "You've been at this a little while." And I said, "How can you tell?" Couple things. Number one, you're carrying a big book with you. Number two, um, you walked up to shake my hand. And number three, the biggest giveaway, you came in here with a smile. He said, "I knew right away that I was seeing a guy who had a little bit of time." He said, "How long you got, son?" And I said, "Well, such and such day will be at that time 5 years." And he said, "Really? Well, congratulations." He said, "But I'll clap for you when you get to that 5 years." So um, that was really cool. Really cool. And I asked how long you got. He said, "Oh, well, I got a few 24 hours." I said, "Oh, you one of the old timers. You've been at this a long time." He's like, "What tells you that?" I said, "Because only a true old timer in Alcoholics Anonymous say I've got a few 24 hours." And he's like, "Impressive, young man." He says, "So you have been around a little while." And now I'm getting to be one of the old timers in AA. Technically speaking, depending on where you're at in the United States, when you hear about the old timers, what the old timers in Alcoholics Anonymous is, those are the people that have, depending on where you're at, they have either 10 or more years. But if you get into major metropolitan areas, that kind of changes a little bit. Yes, he did. Yes, actually, no, he gave me a great big hug. He shook my hand at the beginning of the meeting, but after the meeting, he gave me a great big hug. Doesn't matter how much time you got. As long as you could as long as you could say, "I strung some of that time back to back," you're doing good. Don't don't knock yourself, okay? I don't care if it's 24 hours or 24 minutes. That time is your time that you've been away from that bottle, and don't sell it short. Don't sell it short. That is not fair to you, and that's not fair to the people that you'll help with your story. Don't take that away from yourself, and definitely don't take that away from them. And you may never know those people. You may never fully meet them. I did too. I did too. I used to function like everybody else. They didn't know how bad it truly was. But here we are, you know. So now that I've said all of that, uh, you know, um, when when it came time for my 5 years, they asked me to tell my story, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, 5 years, and you've got this story." Uh, there was one guy who was celebrating, I think, 18 years, and I was there to thank him and tell him, congratulations. And he turned around and he said, when Prince Magnum's in a meeting, he always has something really amazing to say. He says, he's on point. And I oftentimes wonder where he got sober at because I would love to go visit. He said it's so amazing because he brings this positive vibe and he shares it with all of us and he puts a different way of thinking about things. And he said, but then again, I'm easily amused. And then we all laughed and I was like, "See how you are?" and he said, he said, "I could joke with you." He said, and he said, you get it. You get it. And, he said, "I love you for everything that you pass on to us. Thank you so much." And he said, "If you guys have not talked to him, corner him sometime. He has an amazing story." And I would love one day for you guys to actually hear me in a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a lot of fun. I would love for you guys to see what that looks like. Because, trying to do it in sober talk is one thing, but being in an actual meeting, well, that's a whole nother ballgame. And it's so much fun. People just like you that maybe you've known for a long time in sobriety, just trying to, keep going forward, trying to beat this thing we know alcohol, that we call alcoholism. Um, that's the thing, you know, and It's really something to see and to hear the stories. A lot of those people were true inspirations to me, you know. And here we are, you know. Here we are today, you know, living life, just trying to get through, you know, one day at a time. No matter if it's problems with alcohol, problems with drugs, um, you know, problems with, I know people that have had problems with gambling. There is one addiction I'd never fully understood, and that's, you know, the whole sex addiction thing. I never fully understood sex addiction. I guess it'd be fun to relapse. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I guess it'd be fun to relapse. You know, it's just one of them things. I just never fully understood it, you know. Um, but it is what it is, you know. I know there's people that struggle with that too, you know. Um, and let me tell you all a funny joke. This is one of my early sobriety jokes. I oftentimes used to joke. Yeah. Um, one of those real. This is actually true. Uh, you know, I used to joke in my early days of sobriety saying I should go to a Sexaholics Anonymous meeting and try to find a chronic relapser. That was one of my early jokes. And come to find out, my that sober man used to tell that same joke when he first got sober. And I'm like, well, that's another something we true story, true story. It's, you know, I told the joke and he said, you know, I used to tell that joke way back. And I told him that joke when I was probably about 8 months sober, and we had a big laugh about that. And that's when he again said, you know, Prince Magnum, there are some things that some of us alcoholics found is perfectly okay as long, you know, in sobriety, as long as we have a willing sponsor or two. Yeah. No, there are some things we found that's perfectly okay in sobriety as long as we have a willing partner or two. And the way he did that, I was like, sober man, bad, shame, shame. I would do it too, but shame, shame. And he's like, oh my gosh, you know. So, you know, just one of them things. Poor queen. She's like, oh my God, no, no. Yep, yep. And for the record, something else that sober man told me, and you guys take this to heart. I remember calling him up one night and I said, you know, people are kind of, you know, I was probably about, I was 9 months sober, 9 months sober. And sober man, you know, I called him up one night. I was on my lunch break when I was still working nursing. And I said, sober man, I said, you know, funny thing. I said, people come to me with their problems now. And, you know, I don't always have all the right answers, but, you know, I listen to them and they trust me. People trust me now. And he said, why do you think that is? I said, well, I said, I don't know, but it wasn't that long ago. I was a fallen, you know, I was still drinking, you know, a little over 9 months ago. I was still drinking. And I don't understand why. He said, I can explain it to you, Prince Malcolm. I said, well, explain it to me, sober man, because I don't fully understand how anyone can still, you know, trust me so much when I'm still so new to sobriety. And he says, well, Prince Magnum, my boy, he says, that's because you've worked the steps. You've worked those steps. And you worked them honestly and as thoroughly as you possibly could. This is one of the blessings that's been given to you by the higher power of your understanding. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. He said, because it takes some people a lot longer than you to get to that point. Take it in. He said, it didn't take you that long to get through the steps, and it's still a work in progress. You're still a work in progress. He said, but you've got a whole lifetime ahead of you to be that work in progress. He said, how do you know that you'll be done being that work in progress? I said, I have no idea. And he says, when you take the message of Alcoholics Anonymous straight into the heavens, that 13th step that we talk about so much. And that was Sober Man. When he said that, it just, powerful stuff. Just, it's like, boom, it just blew me up right there, in a good way. Real quick, talking about getting sober and everything. Oh, that's easy. I am a family man through and through. And well, let me explain. As an alcoholic, there's this whole thing that, as an alcoholic, the person who's last to know about that they have a problem with alcohol is the person who has the problem with alcohol. True. I was the last one that realized that it was out of hand. Everybody else could see it. Everyone else knew it. But I was the last one to know that I had that the problem was that out of hand. So there you go. That's awesome. So cool how you guys take care of each other. So to answer your question honestly, I got stuck working a double shift. I called home to my ex, my high school. I was kind of on again, off again with my high school sweetheart. And I told her I was stuck at work. I was very upset. I didn't want to be there. I was tired of, the constant call outs and everything like that. I was really ticked off about it. So I worked my time. And then, after 16 hours, I come tootling home and I get to the front door and I was able to just push it open. So that meant that the front door was unlocked and she always locked the door. I get inside, I hear the alarm clock going off. Strange, the alarm clock never just sits there and goes off like that. I went to the bedroom and my ex was not there. I looked in the kids' room, the kids were not there. I rushed around the apartment trying to figure out what it was that, that I, maybe she was getting back at me for being a jerk and that sort of thing. And, but everything signs said that she left. She straight up left. And I couldn't believe it. That was the, the point. And I collapsed in the middle of the kitchen. And I said, how could it have gotten this bad? And I was a mess. That night I was at the buddy that was there to hear me flirting with that one gal. I was at his place drunk. As a matter of fact, I stopped off at that same gas station, picked up a bottle of Canadian Mist, jumped in the car. I wasn't even halfway there, and I already had the cap off and was drinking straight from the bottle. Didn't care. Didn't care. I get to his place. I'm drunk already, walking in the door. He's like, have you already been drinking? I said, yeah, man. Screw it, I don't care. Gloves were off. I didn't care who knew, if I was drinking or otherwise. He's like, were you drinking and driving? I said, who fucking cares? I was like that. Yep. And I stayed like that for the next 2 days. That night and the next night, that was how it was. And on the third day, I'm sitting there on my couch, hungover. Couldn't believe it. My family was gone. There was nothing to live for at that point. And I initially wasn't going to tell this part of the story, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I was sitting on the couch, and I took a loaded .357 Magnum, sitting there saying, this is the end. There's nothing to live for. Cocked the hammer, put it under my chin, just started to squeeze the trigger. My phone rings. And I jumped, and honestly, I almost pulled the trigger anyways. So a 357 Magnum at that close of a range would have taken, it'd have killed me. It would have killed me. It would have went in the size of the end of my pinky and then blown the entire top of my head off. If that's any indication of the power of a 357. At that close range, I would not have survived. If I did, I wouldn't have felt a thing. I would have been completely brain dead. But chances are I would not have survived. I picked up the phone, and it was my dear friend Tanya. And Tanya says, Prince Magnum, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting here on the couch. And she says, what are you really doing? I said, I'm sitting here on the couch. I've got my 357. I was just about to end it when you called. And she did what any good friend would do in the non-alcoholic world. She chewed me out. She chewed me out for close to a half an hour, and then she talked me into going to get help. So I went to an outpatient treatment center. I got help. They led me to Alcoholics Anonymous. That much is history. But that's how I knew the problem was out of hand. For the record, there was another gentleman. I think I might have met this guy once, but there was one particular gentleman. He knew that the problem was out of hand because he wore the same shirt 3 days in a row. And he realized that the problem with his problem with alcohol was out of hand. That was all it took. He just realized that he wore the same shirt for 3 days in a row. So every one of us finds what I like to call that moment of truth in Alcoholics Anonymous. But I always knew I had a problem. I just thought I could handle that problem. I always thought I was smarter than the problem or above the problem. No, I wasn't. I could not outsmart it. I could not outthink it. All the wits in the world could not save me from my alcoholism. Let me explain something now. When you go into a dentist office for a toothache, and that dentist looks inside your mouth and says, okay, you got an abscessed tooth. Just hearing that, does that solve the problem? No. You have to do something about that problem or the pain continues. So that is exactly what I knew about my problems with alcohol. I knew I had a problem, but until I got into action in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, there was no way of getting rid of that pain. There was no way of overcoming that. So that is where, so to kind of take that to heart, okay? My problems with alcohol are a direct, I have no idea where they come from. My own mother believes that I was born with it. My dad believes that after all the stuff I went through as a teenager, turned me into one. But he doesn't fully understand. He thinks I'm kind of nuts about the AA thing. He's like, you haven't drank in so long. How could you still be an alcoholic? Dad, it doesn't go away. My dad's a little derp. He's a smart man, just not smart on a lot of stuff, like that. Like, Dad, you were you were a freaking EMT for years. How could you not understand that? But it's one of those things. So I hope, Mike G, does that answer your question? I hope that answers your question. That how did I know it was out of hand? How did I know I had a problem? I hope that answers your question. So yeah. Let's see. My goodness. Um, on top of everything that's going on, for those that do not know, in a way, um, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Raven. I appreciate you being here. Again, for those that are not familiar with Mr. Raven Nuts, he is a dear friend from the United Kingdom and is a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Military, more in particular, the United Kingdom's Army. Uh, and so, in our eyes, here on the Prince Magnum channel, Mr. Raven Nuts is one of the finest members of the Maverick Nation. So, if you've not checked him out, please do so. Get to know him. Just an absolutely fantastic and wonderful friend within the Maverick Nation to all of us. Thank you, Mr. Raven Nuts, for being here with us and being a major support in helping me stay sober yet another day. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Um, Another true friend to the Prince Magnum channel. Queen, you got on to me about smoking all the time. So I'm using the vapor. And it's literally got a tobacco flavored juice in there. Be right back. Okay, Mike G. Again, Mike G, when you get back, you'll have to tell me if that really did answer your question. I hope it did. Yeah. Yeah, he was offering me drugs, but I don't want no drugs. What's going on, Chairman? Welcome to the live stream. There's another dear friend of the Prince Magnum channel. A little bit better, a little bit. That's all I get. I can live with that. Well, what was that message retracted? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Real quick, Chairman is another dear friend to the Prince Magnum channel. If you've not checked out Chairman, he's, just really, yeah, I did, but you know what? Yeah. I actually have a shop that I trust. They make their own, and they're good people. Just really, 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 really good people. So I trust them. You prefer gum? Well, real quick, talking about jokes, um, you know, I was talking about this in Queen Bee's stream earlier. I have everyone knows how dang strict I am about what I take in because I won't use vanilla extract that actually is used that has alcohol in it and things like that. I won't um, you know even though the medical marijuana and the CBD oil um, is better than the regular cigars. Okay. But, everyone at work knows how strict I am. And a lot of people are like, Prince Magnum is sober and we're proud of him. I have walked up to my boss with a straw still in its wrapper, my store manager. Um, I walked up to her one day with a straw still in its wrapper, and I was doing this number. Have you met my friend Snorty? And she just shook her head. There was one day I did it to her, and she said, "Yeah, Prince Magnum." Son of a gun! I got it. That wasn't what you were expecting, was it? Okay. Uh, oh my goodness. So, ha. Um, um, there was another day I came in. Um, Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all got to go over and check out Daniel. If you've not done that, Daniel's a good guy, real good guy. Um, I walked up to the actual franchise owner, walked up to him after doing some serious power washing outside. I said, just so you know, while I was out there power washing, I went ahead and took the power washer to your car. Boy, that is the prettiest looking silver I have ever seen. And the franchise owner, his car is blue. Told you I was honoring. Um, and when I said that, he's like, real funny, real funny. And he just shakes his head, kind of looks up at the ceiling. I said, just so you know, Ian, thank you for being here, buddy. You get some rest. Tomorrow is another day of fun and adventure. A new day to look forward to. Another day of continuous sobriety ahead of us. Thank you so much, Ian, for being here. For those of you who didn't, for those who do not know, Mr. Gamerin, BRFC, is another one of the finest from the United Kingdom, a veteran of Her Majesty's Royal Marine Corps. And let me say once again, having veterans from across the pond is truly an honor. But beyond that, Ian is one of the finest men that I have ever met. One, genuinely kind and loving personality. Um, I don't think that man could has a mean bone in his body. Uh, you know, if uh, if all of Her Majesty's veterans are as great as Ian, um, maybe I should consider moving to the United Kingdom. He is one of the greats, and he's also an inspiration to all of us here within the Maverick Nation. He brings a very special comical vibe to the channel, and I look, it is I miss him when he's not here, and I hate it when I miss his live streams. Just a genuine, wonderful person through and through. And on top of that, he has a wonderful, sweet wife, Miss Pinky Ness. Just a loving personality, very special woman. And I can't thank them both enough for being members of the Maverick Nation. It is truly an honor that you guys are a part of this, of this community. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you all enough for being a part of this community. You guys are inspirations. Thank you for being here for me. I can't thank you all enough. That's you guys are awesome. You guys are very awesome. Again, the blessings that I get to enjoy as being Prince Magnum and running the Prince Magnum channel. I get to enjoy some very, very wonderful blessings. Good night, Ian. Rest well, my friend. Let me tell you all that I think I know who you're talking about. Yes, I think I do. Yes, I believe I do. Um, Been a while though. Been a while. Um, Let me tell you all. Currently, right now, I had been having some struggles at my job, was getting very, very frustrated, and then my backup maintenance guy quits on me. And we were looking at doing, going to a car show, and I was going to live stream a car show and see if maybe Project Spirit or Project Lena could bring home some trophies and things like that. And I was all excited, and that was taken away from us. Just like that, I had to go, I had to work because there was no one else to back me up in the maintenance department. So when this happens and that sort of thing, um, there you go. Good idea. Good idea. And if you've got the link to his channel, drop it in the live. Okay. Well, today was my 11th day in a row at work. And everyone's starting to worry. They're like, you're putting in all this time. We know you're tired. I said, I'm very tired. And I've been having a hard time. I twisted my ankle a couple of days ago, so it's been hurting. My back's been aggravating me. And, things like this. But the bosses are all noticing. And they're like, look at you put in this work. Thank you, Prince Magnum, for doing this work. We know that you gave up that car show and you've been working every day since. And, thank you for all of your hard work. If I was still drinking, I would not be able to pull this off. I guarantee I would not be able to pull this off. So now the bosses are beginning to see what I can do, or at least remember what I can do. And because of my sobriety and the work ethic that I have that was given back to me because of my sobriety, I get to enjoy the rewards. Yes, I do get paid vacation. I'm coming up on a week where I will be taking vacation. I've kind of decided I'm going to take vacation when Princess Faye goes to visit her family. I'm going to spend a little time decompressing, and I might just do something that I've never done before. I might just go. I've been dying to do a 24-hour stream. That'd be a perfect time to do it, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Maybe take you all somewhere in Project Spirit and just sit there and just chill. Just talk. Maybe take you guys to some places that I've been dying to take you guys to. Maybe take you to that spot where I'm supposed to do the run and actually do the run. So Queen Bee can yell at me. Don't! Stop! What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? I know. Yes. Amazing friend. I haven't seen him in a while. I got to get over there and see him. I will. I'll seatbelt you. Maybe take you guys around. But whatever. I do what I want. Oh my gosh, that's funny. It'd probably be even funnier if my hair was pulled up the top of my head, do that fabulous hair flip, you know. But again, that's what sobriety has given me, that I've got a job. It's not the greatest job in the world, but it is a job. Whatever. Last night, yeah, you guys were like, get back over here. Chairman, thank you for joining us. For those who not checked out Chairman, he's got this really kind of interesting little channel. I really like it. I got to get over there and see you more often, Chairman. Really good guy. Absolutely funny guy. You know, another dear friend to the Prince Magnum channel. He may not say a whole lot, but what he does say sticks well into the positive vibe area. No doubt about it. Well, I told you to quit falling over, quit falling down on the job, but you wouldn't listen. That's okay, Chairman. You still got good stuff up. You still got good stuff. And we love you. We love you very much, Chairman. You do me a favor. You rest well. You rest and take it easy. And we'll see you when we see you next. I didn't drop you. God. What the what the anyhow. Um anyhow. Oh my gosh. Again, that we could joke and have so much fun. Um, that's again one of the blessings of the Prince Magnum channel. Um, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to have so many of you that come by and hang out and show that love and support. I am truly the blessed content creator here on YouTube. Sobriety has given me a lot. It has given me an awful lot. So, we are reaching that time. I'm wondering who is live. Let's take a look-see and see who is live. You guys want to do another raid tonight? Boy, that real quick, Nerdy Nikki, that made her day when we raided. That made her day. I mean, she was just tickled. That made her day. And we got a big thank you from her. She was just so happy that we did that for her. And, it was just so much fun to see her laugh and to have so much fun with us all. I sat in her stream for a good little while last night, and she was very grateful. It made her day. So big thank you to you guys for helping me with that raid. That was so much fun, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun. See, there's Flash. Oh, guess who's live? The Isolationist Network. Hang on a second. Let's see if he's still going. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay, guys. We got our raid. Give me a second here. I'm going to jump into the live. I'm going to jump into my own live stream here. Okay. So as soon as the channel shuts off, okay, because we're getting ready to do our outro stuff, here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. This is the channel that's coming up in the chat right now. This is the Isolationist Network. This is Nerdy Nikki's boyfriend. Okay. His name is Jamie. Really a sweet guy. Fantastic friend. Okay. So if you guys are up for a raid, what we're going to do, just at the moment that I'm shutting it down, go over into that link and put in the chat, Maverick Nation raid. He'll know what's going on. It'll make his day. So that is who we're raiding. Okay. You guys ready for this? I'm stoked. Let's do this. Okay. Or if you guys prefer, let's do this. Anyhow. All righty. So again, thank you all for being here with me. You guys are truly awesome. Every last one of you. I can't thank you enough for being here with me. I am once again blessed with wonderful supporters. That is you guys, the Maverick Nation. You guys help me stay sober. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. It means the world to me that you're here with me. That being said, I know traditionally we ended a certain way here on the Prince Magnum channel. But with Sober Talk, we ended a little bit differently than what you might think. I say something a little bit different. And that line is, at day's end, I hope all of you need me as much as I need you. And as always, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you're experiencing, if nobody has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.